All right, let's go to Sacramento and talk to the great and powerful Lori. What's up, Lori?
Hey, Dr. Delony. Thank you for taking time to help me.
I don't know if I'm going to be any help, but I will take time to hang out with you. What's up?
Yeah, well, I'm really excited about your new book about anxiety. I saw your interview with Don Madsen from Minimal Mom about decluttering. That was awesome. And that's actually sort of where all this started. So my home's been cluttered for years. I mean, boxes piled high with my mom's clothes, her dishes, the kids' old toys, makeup, junk. Everything is a mess. My kids' rooms and their upstairs bathroom were the only clean rooms in the house. So I panicked and ended up finding Minimal Mom on YouTube, and I felt safe enough to start getting myself out of this mess. So after about 2 years, I've now got rid of about 8 huge van loads of items. And with all the support from the Minimal Mom Facebook group, and then seeing your interview and starting to see some of your videos, like my entire house is basically minimal. Like I can't even believe it.
Wow. Hey, can I just stop and say congratulations? Like hoarding, or on the borderline of hoarding, or as Josh Milburn with Minimalist calls it, hoarding. Organizing is just well planned. Hoarding, right? Getting rid of that stuff is one of the hardest things to do when you're talking about mental and emotional health. It's hard. That's hard.
Yeah.
So congratulations. That's not an easy task. For some people listening, they're like, "Oh my gosh, you cleaned your house! Wow!" No. This is different. This is hard. So congratulations. Way to go.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, it wasn't cleaning my house. It was like tearing me apart.
That's right.
Knowing that my kids deserve a better life, and I deserve to be free of just living in clutter. And so my question is about all the pain and conflict that came up. So like after cleaning out a room, I was supposed to be happy and peaceful.
No.
Was a wreck. I'm like feeling lost and angry and confused.
Yes.
And what I think is that instead of the hoarding disaster causing my anxiety, it seems like my anxiety was causing the clutter. And recently, I'm also thinking like maybe childhood PTSD or something. So like how do I deal with all this anxiety?
Yeah, you don't even need to call me. You figured it out. So that stuff was serving as some kind of moat around your castle that was supposed to protect you from the bad guys. And whether those bad guys were old memories, your own nervous system, your current relationships or lack of, your current financial situation, your relationship with your kids, whatever. That just became your thing. So instead of a drink or instead of any number of numbing devices, you just built a wall around yourself. I would tell you there's something tragically wrong with your internal response system if, after doing the decluttering that you have done, you were not sitting in this home with every anxiety alarm you have ringing off the hook. Because now you're exposed. Now you have to deal with whatever was setting those alarms off in the first place. And so here's a weird, I think it's the suckiest thing about anxiety, but I understand the mechanics of it. When your body identifies a threat, so let's say your daughter comes home and slams the door and doesn't want to talk to you, and you instantly roll back to when you were a kid and your mom did that same thing to you. Your mom would hold you hostage with her relationship. If you don't make me feel good, then I'm going to cut you off, which is like taking oxygen from a child. Fast forward, your daughter does the same thing to you, or your husband does, or your boyfriend does, and your body only has that one road that it knows to travel, and so it sets off all the alarms, and you just start gathering stuff around you, okay?
Yeah.
When that stuff goes away, and you have to just sit in that, now you got to deal with that actual relationship. You actually have to grieve it. Now and the crappy thing about anxiety is when you get some stuff and make yourself feel a tiny little bit better, your brain goes, oh, sweet, that works. So the next time she slams the door, you go get more. Because your body knows, okay, this is going to protect us. This keeps us from having to deal with that. Keeps us safe. And it builds more and more and more. And so the worst part about anxiety is you have to go through it. That's the only way. That's the only way to heal. That's the only way for the alarms to stop is to go directly towards them. And that's where you found yourself, right? You've cleared all the path. And now you're just staring down at the other end of this thing. So I'll flip it on you.
Yeah.
You tell me, when it comes to choosing freedom, when it comes to choosing reality, when it comes to the state of your finances, your reactive, your health, what is your body trying to get your attention and protect you from?
Well, I think what's happening is that I'm realizing the mindset that has started this clutter to begin with. Like, I've been really feeling responsible to take care of my mom's stuff and to keep her dishes. And recently, I had found a lot of her old artwork. She had this really beautiful porcelain artwork. And I talked to my brother because I felt really guilty. I didn't want to sell it. I wanted to donate it and have somebody appreciate it. And I didn't want my brother to be upset. But he was like, Mom passed away 20 years ago. She died in 2004. And it's not, I felt like I'm losing my mind. It's not like I'm delusional, but like it's been in the back of my mind thinking about these little pieces of objects. They're just objects. And it was running my life. And now I'm just feeling like lost. Like, now what?
When are you going to let your mom go?
Yeah. And so
hold on. You're cluttering with words now. You're cluttering with thoughts. You're going to spin it up. You're going to create a bubble around yourself. I'm not going to let you do it, at least on this call. You have to sit in it.
Yeah, no, I'm hearing you.
You have to sit in it. Your mom is not at rest yet because you won't let go. Why?
Yeah.
Was she great to you? Was it really gnarly growing up? Like, what was it?
She was an alcoholic and she had a mental illness, and she would go into rages. She was isolated. She was paranoid. When I was in my teens, she started drinking really heavily. But my mom was like amazing. I mean, especially hold on. Such a great job. It's just everything's so confusing.
Here's what it is. I have come to believe, and I might sit down with a neuroscientist someday or a child psychiatrist. They're going to tell me I'm crazy. I don't think I am. If a parent leaves, if they just disappear on you, they abandon you as a kid, that is tragic on 100 different levels, starting with neurochemistry and then ending up in your nervous system and all the way through, and how it manifests in the real world. I think having a parent who struggles with addiction is worse. And here's why. Because they are in the child's home, they are there in body, but they are completely gone. And if a parent leaves, a child has to deal with the reality that there is no physical presence of my safe place. I have to figure another safe place out. But when they're an alcoholic, they're right there. And you ever seen those like old spy movies where they have that 3-prong hook and they're tied to a rope and they're trying to throw it over the wall so they can catch it and they can pull themselves up? That's what kids do every second of every day, trying to connect with mom and dad. And if you have a mom that you were never able to plug into, you have a little girl still asking herself over and over again, what is so bad about me? I'll try this, I'll try this, I'll try this. And then she went and died on you before you got an answer to that. And so you have not let her go.
Oh, yeah. I was in my late 30s. I was in my almost 40s when she passed away.
I don't care about that.
I was an adult.
I know, it doesn't matter. Yeah. That 9-year-old little girl.
Been the same,
That 9-year-old girl is still sprinting on that treadmill.
Yeah.
And you got to sit down with that 9-year-old you and say, she didn't drink because of me. And she loved you the best she could, but she had demons that you will never fully realize and understand.
Yeah, that's true.
And you've got to let mom go in the present.
Yeah. Well, the first steps that I took were trying to think about it, and the counselors they had no idea what to do.
Don't think about it. It's going to make you nuts.
The first thing I could do was declutter. That was the only thing I knew how to do. And like Dawn and the Minimal Mom Facebook group and you, and I just went to all these resources and I thought the demons are so big I can't think about them, but I can take steps and get one piece decluttered, and that's my home. I can start there.
And so in the video game of your life, you've gone through all of the other stages, and you have now reached the final dragon.
Yeah, right. And that's why I'm calling you, because like now what do I do?
Now you sit down. You sit down tonight, and for the first time, I want you to write your mom a letter. Actually, I always tell people to write 3, so you owe her 3. Letter number 1 is how much I miss you, and you have to be very specific, almost reliving in a way. Remember that time remember that time you took me to? I miss you so much, and I've had this thing that I needed you for, and you're not here, and I'm just heartbroken. I miss you. The second letter has to be truth-telling. Here's what you did. Here's what I missed.
Yeah.
You drank half of my childhood away, and the other half you were so tired or so exhausted or so mean. And then the third letter has to be, and you can't hedge that, by the way. You can't hurt her feelings. She's not here.
Yeah.
But you have to let yourself finally feel the truth that you have never been able to tell yourself because you hid that truth because you're trying to get her to love you somehow. And it was never about that.
Yeah, my job was to make sure to glue her together. No, my job was to be a little kid.
Your job was to be a kid. And the third letter is, here's what you're going to miss. Here's how excited I am about what comes next in my life, and I just wanted you to be a part of it. Just wanted to let you know. Did you ever have any doubt that she loved you?
Well, the amazing thing is when I was cleaning up her house and I was going through her drawers, I had gotten into recovery and I was trying to talk to her, but she was like a really shut down person. Like you had to make appointments to go to her house to see her. And so
hold on, you realize that's madness. You realize that's madness.
Yes. Yeah. She was paranoid.
But let's move her aside. I'm talking about you, the kid.
Well, the thing that was amazing to me that finally it was mind-blowing. I was cleaning out her stuff, and I found a drawer full of Alcoholics Anonymous literature. She had gone to meetings, as scared as she was of people. She was getting clean. She was getting sober. It was like, wow. And that was because I took the steps. I was the first person in my family to take the steps to go get clean.
Are you still sober?
Oh, yeah. Well, it's really funny. I didn't even do the math since I was telling my kids yesterday. Today is my 30-year clean. I've been clean and sober for 30 years today.
Congratulations. And can I be harsh a little bit? And I mean, not harsh, but just honestly. You've been clean,
why not?
you were clean from alcohol, drugs, whatever for 30 years, which is so incredible. I would hug you if you were standing here.
Oh, yeah.
I would ask you if I could hug you, and then I would hug you. The second thing is, in some ways, you just traded alcohol for junk.
Yeah.
And so I want you to look at this new phase as you're getting sober again.
Okay.
And the 12 steps are incredibly instructive. And I know people roll their eyes about it. They're powerful because they force you to step back and say, this is bigger than me. I got to have something bigger than me. I got to believe in something bigger than me. I've got to have other people. I have to say these things out loud. Yeah. And you have to go make amends. And one of the single most important amend you need to make is to Lori. You got to let that little girl off the hook.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that fair?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and I've surrounded myself with like you and Dawn and the Minimal Mom. It's like you've been my support group.
I know, but we're imaginary.
On Facebook,
Lori,
it's
Lori,
like a 12-step.
We're imaginary. We're not real. Dawn is
I mean, I've developed relationships with the women on the Facebook group.
I know, but they're not real. They're on Facebook. They're not real. They are real. Dawn's my friend. Dawn and I have sat and she's helped me personally with some challenges. Dawn is my friend. I've got her cell phone number. But Dawn and I, for you, are images on a screen. Those Facebook women.
She's been sending me a lot of support. She sends me emails. She sends me videos.
Here's what I'm pushing. I
mean,
know.
At this point, it's all I have.
I know. But here's your next step, though. You've got to make personal relationships with people in your world. And you've got a little girl that says, I'm not worth being loved or being around. Otherwise, for God's sakes, my mom would have showed up. And so when you're around people, your body goes to war because people are not safe. Because person number one that's supposed to always be there wasn't. She was in a bottle. And so how is Lori going to be friends with Susan, who lives next door? Susan's like a banker. And on the other side is Dan, and he's just weird, and his cars are funny. Like, that's where you have to go, because your body cannot go to rest until it has people in the real world in real proximity. It would be failing you if it let you sleep at night. It would be failing you.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, its job is to keep you spun up and anxious right now because it knows we are not safe, because we cannot do life by ourselves. And Facebook is a good a good approximation, but it's not real. Yeah,
I've had a support group of women since 1997, and we get together once a month, and we're in each other's lives. What's that? 25 years.
Double it.
So now I'm kind of starting to get this whole new, like the decluttering thing, and kind of starting to reach out and kind of getting these new groups. Okay, so that's good. Yeah, and my women's support group is amazed, and they've been holding my hand with me like every step of the way. And now I'm kind of getting these new Facebook friends. And the thing I love about them is they know what I'm talking about. My women friends love me, but they're like, wow, we don't know. And the women on the group, and like, I'm starting to get people who understand this whole piece of my life that's just opened up in this last 2 years. So now I'm starting to get those friends.
Okay, so here's
to branch out.
Here's next step. I want you to write those 3 letters, and it's going to take a couple of days. I want you to spend letter 1, spend a day or two. Letter 2, spend a day or two. Letter 3, spend a day or two. And then I want you to call the women, the real life women, into your home, your new, clean, decluttered home, and they'll all be amazed. Give them a tour. Let that sink in, how proud of you they're going to be. I want you to feel that. Don't deflect it. Oh, no, it's because of Dawn. It's because of Delony. No. We're just people on podcast. You did the work. And then I want you to read the letters to them out loud in person. Let them sit in a circle around you. I want you to feel that room. Let your body feel that room. Let your body feel we are not alone. As David Kessler says, grief demands a witness. We're going to grieve in front of our friends. At some point, not before, but maybe after, you post those letters to your Facebook community. And they are going to be your community that walks alongside you that says, okay, now that we're here, you got to go see a trauma counselor. You got to deal with that. You've got to start going to Al-Anon meetings. You've got to sit down and do some body work or some EMDR, or you've got to do some heavy duty stuff to let your body be at peace with letting your mom go. And the things that you've had to make peace with relationally with your kids or your friends that you've heard over the years, you're going to have to make peace with that. But that is not done by yourself just thinking about it. Cannot be done thinking about it. It's got to be done in reality with your body. To tell you I'm proud of you is like the understatement of the year. I don't even have the words for it. You inspire me. I got a lot of decluttering I got to do at my house. In fact, Dawn and I have talked extensively about it. And by the way, for everyone who's listening, if you struggle with that stuff, Dawn Madsen is amazing. You can check out her stuff. Josh Fields Milburn and TK Coleman and Ryan Nicodemus with the Minimalists, they're incredible too. They're also great friends. Really great folks in walking you through the decluttering process. They've got some plans on how to do it. At my house, it's just so overwhelming. They're really remarkable. Hang on the line, Lori. I'm going to send you a copy of my brand new book on me. I'm just for free. And Jenna will get it sent to you. I'm proud of you. Do those 3 things, tell your friends, and then holler back girl at me. And you're supposed to say, I ain't no holler back girl. But holler back, and then I want to see I want to let everybody know who listens to the show how you're doing. I'm proud of you. It's awesome.